Shalom Israel. First and foremost, I do want to give all praises, all honor, and all glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash, the born to the apostles, and also great millstone for teaching us his true peace and blessings to the whole of Israel. Yahweh is the name of the Heavenly Father in Hebrew, Ba'ashem is the name, and Yahweh Shai is the name of the Begotten Son. Back in the lesson, and as you see what's in the title, chaos to ensue. And I came across the article here, thought I'd make a lesson, going into it. Just go to show the type of times that we're in and the chaos that's getting ready to erupt. Especially what we have been saying through Spirit and Prophet Yahweh Shai, that Donald Trump would be used as that catalyst to stir up division and to bring about chaos. And look, Trump threatens Chicago with apocalyptic force. As well as going to Revelations chapter 12, there's a great wrath that the devil is preparing to come down with. And you already see the things that he has been doing these past couple weeks, dealing with these troops being sent out, which, started with over there in D.C. And we said that this was going to trickle on down to these other states. And trickle on down to, I believe, 19 states, if not more now. Troops in all these different areas. So something most definitely is getting ready to kick off. If not, you're going to have this devil obviously have his hand in these certain situations in order to get the reaction that they want to be justified when they come down with that great wrath. But it says Trump threatens Chicago with apocalyptic force, and Pritzker calls him a wannabe dictator. It's not something you just say, and then move on. Especially with how riled up these people are. The tensions that are already in the midst of these people. So something most definitely going to, kick off and go down. And really the devil's beginning to, tighten that grip. That's why he's now beginning to pretty much, let loose, for lack of better words. And now he's beginning to, tighten that grip. Further going back to Revelation chapter 12 and verse 12, there's a great wrath that he's preparing to come down with. Because he didn't say it for nothing. One more time, said Trump threatened Chicago with apocalyptic force. So that just, further goes to show the type of times that we are in. But as President Donald Trump on Saturday amplified his promises to send National Guard troops and immigration agents to Chicago by posting a parody image from Apocalypse Now, featuring a ball of flames as helicopters zoom over the nation's third largest city. But also going to show who the main target of this devil's attack is, which is Jake, Israel, the 12 tribes. I love the smell of deportations in the morning, and you see Jesus trying to rub salt on the wound. And this is why in Isaiah 19:2, how you're going to see civil war erupt, division amongst the people, especially against the people in power. To get in 2nd Ezra, the 15th chapter, going to that sedition among men, how they should not regard the kings and princes, which are the people in power, people in authority. But I love the smell of deportation in the morning. Trump wrote on his social media site, Chicago about to find out why it's called the Department of War, which I just made a lesson going into the other day. Other brothers have also spoke on it, made lessons going into it. Now they're keeping that point. Further going to show the type of times that we're in. We're not in a time of peace. We're not in a time of love, hugs, and kisses. Hey, we're in a time of war, and this just clarifies it even more. He changed the name of the Department of Defense to Department of War. So going to show the type of spirit that's in the air. Now the president offered no details beyond the label Chipocalypse Now. It's a play on title of Francis Ford Coppola's dystopian 1979 film set in the Vietnam War, in which a character says, "I love the smell of napalm in the morning." But that's pretty much the point right there. Let's get these scriptures. Don't make too big of a lesson. But Isaiah, the 19th chapter and the 4th verse, and says, "And the Egyptians will I give over to the hand of a cruel Lord." And Donald Trump is further proving that he is that cruel Lord. What you get in Revelations, the 11th chapter and 8th verse, going to Babylon, aka America, being spiritually Sodom and Egypt. It's not speaking of ancient Egypt, which is very here. But it says, and the Egyptians will give over to the hand of a cruel Lord. I mean, look at the things he's doing, the things he's saying. And really, this devil is beginning to show his true colors, who he really is, which we have been warning of through the Spirit, probably how Basham Shah with the apostles and elders down over that great millstone. And a fierce king shall rule over them, said the Lord Yahweh of hosts. Now let's continue on. Let's get Revelation chapter 12 and verse 12. And it says, therefore rejoice ye heavens, and ye that win them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath. He's preparing to come down with that great wrath. And watching what he just said, it's not something you just simply say. So you already know the type of reaction that people are going to have when something like that is said. Apocalyptic force. Things that you see within movies or shows of them just cracking down full force. And really, that's what this devil's getting ready to do. Why it's so important to seek the Lord. To get right with Yahweh Basham Shah. But let's continue on to read Revelation 12 one more time. And so, therefore rejoice ye heavens, ye that doing them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and the sea, for the devil is coming down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. He knows his times right now. He's getting sloppy. That's why people are now starting to somewhat open their eyes and realize, the things that the devil has done, things he's doing now. And he knows his time's ticking. That's why he's wanting to rush into implement his plan. He's putting into action as fast as possible. And with that, he's beginning to get sloppy with it. Now his trickery, is no longer working. The deception is beginning to fade. Now, this is Psalm 17:13. It says, arise, O Lord, disappoint him, cast him down, deliver my soul from the wicked. And who's that wicked speaking of? Malachi 1:4, Esau, Edom. Now, which is thy sword. And the Lord's going to be swinging that sword, especially upon you, Jakes, man. The Lord's going to be using this devil to bring out a lot of judgment, man. Which even, near the beginning of when that situation started with the troops being sent out, Donald Trump said, they pretty much could do whatever they want. He authorized it. I know they were especially pretty much allowed to use lethal force. So something is more definitely getting ready to pop off, especially seeing these situations furthering to escalate. Tensions furthering build to furthering. Word that quickly. Continuing to further build. There we go. Just had to word that properly. But I got 3 more scriptures, and that'll be the point. 2 Ezra 15 and 15 through 18. As for the sword and the destruction, draw 9. One people shall stand and fight against another, and swords in their hands, being weaponry. Verse 16. For there should be sedition among men. That word sedition goes to riot, / rebellion. And it's in the scriptures for a reason. You also see 2 Ezra 9 and 1. It goes into uproars of the people in the world. And you just had, I believe, you had martial law declared over there in Thailand. And you had a bunch of buildings being set on fire. I believe I titled that lesson, coming to a city near you. Babylon is sinking down the drain, man. Verse 16 one more time. For there be sedition among men, inventing one another, neither kings nor princes, like the people in power. Today would be your presidents, your mayors, your police force. And the courts shall stand in their power. Verse 17, a man shall desire to go into his city and shall not be able. They're especially be shutting this place down, implementing lockdown. Lockdowns are coming back, man. People thought those were done away with, for good. Israel has been especially alluding to something worse than what took place back in 2020. So you could imagine what the devil is, cooking up within these labs. You're even seeing a lot of stuff brewing already. But as a man shall desire to go into the city, shall not be able, for because of their pride the city shall be troubled, the house shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. So he's going to show just how terrible the times we're coming into, and just how bad it's going to get. And what's further going to show why it's important to seek the Lord. He's the one bringing out these judgments upon this place. With Isaiah 19:2, and just can jump straight to the point. Let's get the GNT. This is in the scriptures. It says, Yahweh says, I will stir up civil war in Egypt. And it's not speaking of ancient Egypt, because we were about that point in Revelation 11:8. How Babylon, aka America, is spiritually Sodom and Egypt. And so I'll stir up civil war in Egypt and turn brother against brother and neighbor against neighbor. Rival cities will fight each other and rival kings will struggle for power. And you already see Donald Trump is what's to be used as that catalyst, stirring up a lot of division, bringing about chaos. And you already have people that were especially, pushing for him to be in office and, fighting tooth and nail for him, are now starting to have regrets. But it's Isaiah 30. And further going to show, your trust in this place, it will be your demise. Now let's start with the first verse, and it says, Woe to rebellious children, say to the Lord, they take counsel, but out of me, and they're covered with a covering, but out of my spirit, that they may add sin to sin, that walk to go down into Egypt, and have not asked in my mouth to strengthen themselves in the strength of Pharaoh, and to trust in the shadow of Egypt. Verse 3, main point, therefore shall the strength of Pharaoh be your shame, and the trust in the shadow of Egypt be your confusion. To be your shame and confusion for trusting in this devil, for trusting in Babylon the Great, for trusting in this beast system. And as you've seen in the past, all throughout history, how the trust in Esau Edom came to bite you back in the behind. How it didn't work out whatsoever. It's going to be the same thing. And Jake will especially soon realize that he's not a friend but a foe, an enemy. But I believe the point was made. I just want to speak on that situation where Trump threatens Chicago with apocalyptic force. That's not something that you just say lightly. So you may see something get ready to pop off. You see tensions are just building in general. So you may see this devil do something which is going to that order out of chaos. This devil's most definitely going to have his hand in it in order to get the reaction that he wants, so he's able to implement his plans and do the things he wants to do. And that's the point. Again, I'm doing close out. Give all praise, all honor, and glory to Yahweh. Shalom. See you next one. Lord's will.